Outstanding American League second baseman Jackie Robinson astonished spectators and made history in 1947 as the first African American to play in the major leagues. He endured bitter racial abuse, yet always maintained his dignity, eventually becoming one of the most beloved American athletes of all time. When Jackie Robinson walked out onto Ebbets Field on April 15, 1947 to play his first game for the Brooklyn Dodgers, he was booed and taunted by many of the 26,000 fans. He didn't break any batting records that day, but he broke the color barrier in Major League Baseball forever. Racist whites were furious. He and his family received death threats, and at first, some of his own teammates resented him. Racial discrimination was nothing new to Jackie Robinson. As a kid growing up in a segregated neighborhood in Pasadena, California, Robinson could not use the same public parks or attend the same schools as white children. The law said that facilities for racial minorities could be separate but had to be equal to whites. In reality, they were almost never equal. In 1944, even the Army was segregated, and after being drafted to fight in World War II, Jackie Robinson was arrested once for refusing to sit in the back of a military bus. So, when the general manager of the Brooklyn Dodgers, Branch Rickey, first approached Robinson about joining his team, Robinson asked, "Mr. Rickey, are you looking for a Negro who is afraid to fight back?" Rickey responded, "Robinson, I'm looking for a ball player with guts enough not to fight back." This was no easy feat for Robinson. He was a fierce competitor, and it required every ounce of his will to hold his emotions in check. But the more he endured, the stronger he felt. His talent and self-control on the field won him the National League Rookie of the Year award his first season. That season, he hit 12 home runs and helped the Dodgers win the National League Championship, the first of 5 trips to the World Series for Robinson. In 1949, he won the league's Most Valuable Player award. As more black players entered the league, the pressure on Robinson eased up, and he became a vocal opponent of racism. Robinson's courage on and off the field helped inspire a generation of civil rights activists to fight the doctrine of separate but equal, and it was finally overturned by the U.S. Supreme Court in the case of Brown versus the Board of Education in 1954. Robinson continued breaking down racial barriers. After he retired from baseball in 1957, he became the first black vice president of an American company, the first black television analyst for baseball, and a spokesperson for equality in sports. Jackie Robinson's baseball career encouraged minority youth to compete in any sport they chose. Robinson once said, "There's not an American in this country free until every one of us is free."